Well, in the electric two-wheeler market, we get to see a new product almost every month, be it a new company or a new model of an existing company. BGauss, for one, is not a new company. They have been around for over 4 years in India and are part of the RR group. And this is their latest offering, the BGauss RUV350. And in this video, we're going to tell you everything that you need to know about this new electric scooter. So let's get started. Now let's start with the name itself. Now the name is RUV350 and RUV stands for Rider Utility Vehicle. And you can see it's not a new form factor, but we have seen this on BGauss's own product, the D15. And BGauss has carried over some of the elements to the scooter, but this has a completely new battery pack, a new chassis, new body design, and a lot of new elements. So let's start with the design. Now at the head, you get a very scooter-like head right here. You get this hexagonal headlamp, which is completely LED. You get LED DRLs, LED turn indicators, and you get this blacked out apron right here. And if you see this part right here, this is fiber, but this part right here is metal. So the blue part that you see on the scooter is completely metal. At front, you get twin shocks, you get 16-inch alloy wheels, drum brakes, and coming to the side, you will see this flat floorboard, which is nice and wide, can hold a big backpack or a small duffel bag as well. Then you have this large seat, which is nice and wide, and it is pretty comfortable as well. Grab handle for the pillion, and this body right here is also completely metal. At the rear as well, you get a 16-inch alloy wheel, and the tail lamps are nicely integrated inside the body, which look really nice, and you get LED turn indicators as well. For the rear wheel, you have a monoshock right here, and this is an in-wheel motor. We'll talk about the power figures later. Here you have a small floorboard for the pillion passenger. You also get the sari guard and a footstep if someone wants to sit on the side. You also have a main stand and a side stand. This could have been implemented better because this kind of sticks out of the body of the scooter, which aesthetically does not look very nice. Now also under the floorboard, you have this storage space which can be opened with this key, and you can store your charger right here. Besides the floorboard, you also get some storage space right here, and you can store some water bottles, your phone. You also get this Type A USB charger. Let's take a look at the boot. So right here you have a 15-liter boot, and as you can see, most of the space has been taken by this battery right here. And here you can fit a small half-size helmet. This is the reset button for the scooter, and right here you have the charging port. And as you can see, this ridge right here is for the charging cable to enter, and you can put the seat down and lock the seat so that no one can steal your charger if you're charging at a public station. You also have this holder right here to store your documents or the first aid kit. And if you can see, the seat has a soft close, so like you don't have to bang the seat. It will just sit in place, and then you press it and it will lock itself. Let's take a look at the button layout now. On the right hand side, you have these multi-function switches and the cruise control as well. This M button right here is for the mode, R is for reverse, and this is to switch the motor on. On the left hand side, you have the headlamp controls, the turn indicators, and the horn, which sounds like this. You have these small mirrors, but they give a good view of what's coming from the rear. Now, some of you might complain in the comments about this finishing right here. This is a pre-production unit, but BGauss tells us that when the product hits the market, we're going to see a much better finished product. Now, right here, you have a 5-inch TFT screen. You have telltale lights right here. So this goes to the dark mode when you do not have any sunlight or daylight. Right here you have a trip meter, a distance to empty, and the odometer, the battery state of charge, clock, and you have the drive mode right here. So if right now it's in neutral, if I turn the motor on, it will go into D or drive. And right here you have the mode readouts. You get 3 modes: sport, ride, and eco. And as you can see, the distance to empty changes as you change the ride modes. This also gets the reverse function, so you press and hold the R button and it will go into the reverse mode. Now, operating the screen is a little tricky and you will need some getting used to. You have these multifunction buttons right here. So firstly, let me put the scooter into neutral. Yeah, and you can use the multifunction buttons right here to enter the menu. But multiple times you have to use the brakes to use these buttons, and you have the instructions right here. So brake plus this button will take you back, and brake plus this button will make you enter the selected menu item. And obviously you have the previous and next based on these 2 buttons without the brakes. Now you have profile. Now if you enter into profile, you have the user info. So this is your information. Then you have connectivity control, which is Bluetooth. It's coming soon, so the software hasn't been updated. You also have documents where you can store the license and your RC book. And if you go back, then you have utilities. You can enable or disable the cruise control. You have fall sense and hill hold. You can control these right here. And then you also have speed mode. So you have economy, ride, and sport. So these are activated. You also can have a custom riding mode, and you also can have an adaptive riding mode. Both these functions are coming soon. They are not ready yet, but in the adaptive mode, what we have been told is based on how you use the throttle, the mode will be selected by the scooter automatically. Then you have the display menu. Here you have the brightness. You have 3 levels of brightness, or you can set it to auto. When you set it to auto, automatically light goes dim. The screen will also go dim. Then you have the themes. You have classic and glide. Classic is what we saw already. So let's change it to the glide mode, and I'll show you what that looks like. And then you have the display modes: auto, light, and dark mode. So that's the display. Now let me show you what the glide mode looks like. So this is what the glide mode looks like. So the speedometer and the drive indicator has moved here. Everything else on the top and the bottom remains the same, but your modes can now be seen here. My only complaint with the display is that the font size is too small and there's a lot of blank space that could have been used to display all this information, so that you don't have to really peer through the screen to view what's happening on the screen. Besides that, you have rider stats and you have about the scooter, so that will have the software information, and you also have a custom mode which is coming soon. That was the display. Let's also take a look at the key. This is what the key looks like. It's a nice flip key, so it gives you like a premium feel. That's what the key is like. And let's take out the rider ergonomics. Now, it is a pretty tall scooter. However, both my feet are flat on the ground. So if you're 5'9", 5'10", you should be able to handle the scooter very easily. Even for people who are 5'8", 5'7", they should not have a hard time reaching the floor. But for shorter riders, it might get a little difficult. They would have to tiptoe because of the seat height. Also, I can get into a comfortable riding position. The floorboard is not very high. You do get a good amount of ground clearance, which means that you can go on bad roads very easily. And those 16-inch wheels also help you on bad roads. The handlebar is a little towards the rider. It's not in front like you might be used to with other scooters. But it is a comfortable riding position and you will be able to maneuver through traffic very easily. Now, let's get riding and see what this scooter performs like. As we ride the BGauss RUV350, let's get the specs out of the way. The RUV350 is equipped with a 3.09 kWh battery pack that sends power to the motor, producing 3.5 kW or 4.7 bhp of power. Now the claimed real world range is 120 kilometers. We weren't given a fully charged scooter, but with readouts, I can say that the real world range should be between 105 to 110 kilometers. The scooter has 3 riding modes: Eco, Ride and Sport. Now we were not able to take it out on the road, and most of the riding was in the paved roads around the BGauss factory. Out of the 3 modes, I found myself putting the scooter in the ride mode more often. The ride mode is quite balanced and will be the best mode to ride in the city. The sport mode delivers the full power to the wheels and is the most fun to ride in. The eco mode is good for creeping in traffic. It is usable in the city too, but at very low speeds. I like that the scooter has bigger wheels, as that makes it go over bad patches easily. The ride quality is slightly on the stiffer side, but I can't really comment on how it would perform in bad conditions, as all we had here were cement roads. The scooter is light and very maneuverable, so cutting to traffic will be fairly easy. The brakes, on the other hand, lack that initial bite, and it is something that needs to be worked on. No issues if you are at low speeds, but if you're doing over 60 kilometers an hour, the stopping power needs to be a little better. I'm sure BGauss can make the tweaks before they launch. Overall, it's quite a decently put together two-wheeler. What sets it apart from other electric scooters are the wheels, which in my opinion will attract buyers who stay in areas where the roads are not very good. Of course, we had very little time with the scooter, and this is not a comprehensive ride review, so you will have to wait for that once we get the scooter back at base. Now the scooter is available in 3 colors. The blue one I think looks the best among the 3, and which is why we picked this scooter, because it has this nice graphics right here. The other scooters don't have it. There is a silver and there is a gray color as well. Now the color of the wheel also changes according to the scooter that you choose. The silver scooter gets red alloys and the gray scooter gets yellow alloys, while this one gets this gray colored alloys. So like they have contrasting colors for the alloy wheels, which looks really nice and sporty. In my opinion, if some of the niggles are improved, so if they improve the fit and the finish, the button controls and the UI a little bit, this would prove to be a very good scooter. Now, while we have been testing the scooter, we do not know what the price is. So giving you a final verdict will be difficult. So treat this as a first impressions, first ride overview and not our final review, because we haven't road tested this in all conditions. It was a very controlled environment and the roads have been really good. And what I feel is the scooter will excel in bad roads because of the ground clearance and the alloy wheels. Now, it has a very utilitarian form factor. So people who carry a lot of weight around, if you need to carry a lot of stuff, you need to tackle or handle a lot of bad roads, this could be a very good scooter for you. BGauss is present in about 10 states in India, and they have over 120 dealerships operational right now, with the plans of expanding all over India pretty soon. So in terms of service network, dealership network, it's pretty decent as of now. And if they are available in your city, you should take a test drive if you're looking for a new electric two-wheeler, which does not look like a scooter and provides a lot of utility. Let us know what you think about the scooter. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments below. And I hope I was able to answer all your questions. If you like this video, share it with a friend or family member. Hit the like button if you liked it, and subscribe to Motoroids if you haven't already. Press that bell icon so that you get notified whenever we upload our next video. This is Vipul signing off, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, rev hard, rev free, and ride safe.